What's going on? What we got cooking today? Just still wondering if people are having issues out there, struggling with their credit reports, struggling to get items removed. How can I help you get this item removed? What are you struggling with? Do they keep saying verified? What you got going on? I still just I'm just so baffled. Like, I keep hearing everybody having trouble getting accounts removed though. So I always want to ask, like, what's your dispute process? What are you doing? Why are you struggling? Can you tell me the issue? Let me help you get over that hump. Because it just seems like every time I look at a credit report, all I do is see inaccuracies or incompletes. So the only thing I gotta be asking myself is, maybe, and I was on my Zoom call last night with one of my mentees, and then I seen spotting the errors are not as easy as you think it seems, because I guess you don't know what's supposed to be reported or what's not supposed to be reported. So really, spotting the errors is the main thing. Like, and especially if you only got a couple accounts. I think we just had this dispute. She had 8 negative accounts, and it was only an 8-page letter. What's going on? So yeah, anybody having, and then remember, you putting the work in on the front end, but you're not gonna have to send letters anymore. You only need to send one mailing as far as letter, and your second dispute is gonna be a phone call. So you put that work in on the front end, spotting those errors, and then I'm looking at this one right here. Here's the one right here. We got 8 accounts. There is a minimum of 10 errors on each one of these accounts, and I'm like, dang. Every time I look at a credit report, they have whole payment sections missing. And then I give you something too. When you look at the credit report, it's like a matchup game. What you do is you match up the words that they're saying with the payment history. So prime example, if you see on Equifax report, it'll say date of first delinquency. If that says March 2019, so that means you would go up to the payment history and then you would look at March 2019. That should be, it should say at least 30 days late, because that's your first day of delinquency. And usually the first day of delinquency is when you went delinquent and never got caught up again. So now your eyes, they looking and keying in on these things. So you say, if they say I was delinquent the first day in March, I go up to the payment history, you know, where all the checks and stuff at, and then it should be 30 days late. It shouldn't be a check there. If there's a check there, or if there's 60 days late or 90 days late, it should read 30 days late. If it doesn't say that, then that's an inaccuracy that you spotted. You can circle that. You can draw a line. Aren't they not allowed to report those transactions though? What transactions do you mean? Are you talking about charge off? Is this a collection? Is this the original creditor? Let me know what you mean. Life Designed by Truth. I like that name too. Anything made by a credit card. Oh, you talking about that spooky stuff? That sound like that sound like that crazy guy that's doing that credit repair. That stuff he preaching. No, that's misinformation. Please leave that stuff alone. I'm not even gonna say his name, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Leave what he talking about alone. He sounds smart, but he don't know what the hell he talking about, and misinterpreting a lot of things and misleading y'all. So that's a misinterpretation. This is why I'm making this live right now. All you need to do is order your real credit report and just look at the transactions, look at the payment history, look at everything they're saying. I promise you, it's so many inaccuracies on there to get these items removed. And the best way of doing it like this is because if they decide to ignore you or do whatever they usually do, you now have the proof to be able to file a lawsuit and get them to move. So it's not about, in this regular credit repair, they say, oh, well, that didn't work, or I still having trouble getting the item removed. It's because of the way you're disputing. I just want to really just drive that home to people. It's the dispute process. That's why you're having troubles. And the dispute process is learning to just don't use a third monitoring crediting service. Use your real report, because if you have to file a lawsuit, you want that evidence. So that's why you're thinking about the end goal in the beginning. So everything you do from the start will affect you in the end. So you can't just be doing stuff if you don't realize where this can go. So if you realize the end goal, just spotting those transactions, or then you got me saying transactions, it's just spotting the errors with the account. the more you spot, the more inclined for them to either delete the account, or if they don't fix everything, then that gives us a chance to sue them. So these are your two options. They either fix it, and then I know some people like, dang, what happened if they fix everything? I've never seen it done. I would say, tell you the truth. Yeah, the odds of them doing that is, you say I'm not going off him, but I know who you're talking about. Well, you say his name then. I ain't gonna say it. Hey, but yeah. It's too much spooky stuff out here. And then here's the thing too. A lot of people saying Metro 2. Metro 2 is okay. Remember, all these dispute methods that people are trying and getting stuff deleted, that's all okay. Okay. Well, no. Okay. Well, yeah, that ain't his name then. I was not thinking about him. But yeah, throw them in the pot too. They saying a lot of spooky stuff to people. And I say spooky because it sound good. It sound like they smart. But then when people are trying to do this stuff, it's not helping them. And it's just like, oh man, it sounded good. So it'd be like, oh man. Yeah. And then, I read into Tila. I have it in my notes. Just how do you execute on that? If you say that that's true, tell me how do you execute that and use that to your advantage? And have you been able to? Do you have anyone that's been able to? Because you can read something, but it's still about the interpretation and then the application. So if you say that that's true, then you should be able to interpret it enough to where you can apply it and then have repeatable success. So if you're telling me that's what you're doing with that to your understanding, then you say, okay, it works. But if you can't interpret that and apply it in a way where you can have repeatable success, then if I keep telling people, anything in credit repair can work. You can throw anything out there and it can get something off. But the real question is it a repeatable process? And do you have evidence to file a lawsuit if they violate? So it literally said, I'm just saying that's what it said. But remember, that's what I told you about. That's the interpretation. So if you say it says that, then now you should be able to use that to your advantage, right? So it's about, all right, does it really mean that? Words are used differently in law. Like if you look on, I like to go to Cornell Law. And if you look on there, you'll see some words are blue. This is what I want you to do. Click on those words and you'll see the words have a different definition than what you actually define it as in regular English. So that's something else I want you guys to pay attention to. I like to go on the Law Cornell website where you looking up, like if you looking up a code and you'll see that Cornell Law in there. Now look at those subsections and just clicking on there and really start to understand that stuff. And then you'll see a word that's blue, click on it. And that's why it's blue for you to click on. So now they can give you the definition of what they mean versus what you think the word means. So that's something else that I want you to keep in mind too, because but then here's the thing though. All that spooky stuff takes you down a dark alley trying to do that instead of saying, you know what? The law we need to know is the reasonable procedures for maximum possible accuracy. And then we need to know what laws are they violating when they don't have their reasonable procedures in place to avoid the errors that I'm spotting out on the credit report. So that's why I keep bringing everybody back to this. The real way to do credit is to spot the inaccuracies or the incompletes. That's what the maximum possible accuracy really is though. So the next question is, all right, if I say I got this law, do I just send in a letter and tell them the account is messed up, fix it? Or do I be more detailed and tell them what's exactly? Because we're doing this to paint a picture. When we do this and they absolutely have no way to wiggle out of it and you've told them exactly what's going on, that's what helps you in that end result to say, you know what, they weren't listening to me. They was ignoring. They was doing all the stuff that they do to people. But the difference in your process of them doing it to you and in any other process is you going to have the evidence and the ability to sue them after they try to do that stuff. And then it makes it more advantageous for you when you're talking about the money. So I really just want to keep home that end. And that's why I just want to give. I either want to teach you how to do it or just like, because people really want to get on the other side of having great credit, being able to get approved for anything that they want. The nice car, the $100,000 car, the $250,000 house, or however you want it. And then the business funding as well. So many people come to me and want business funding, but then they having credit issues. So I'm like, all right, so many people having credit issues. I want them to be able to fix that on their own. And I want them to be able to understand how their credit looks. So now when they come to me or they go to anyone, they say business funding, they're going to be like, dang, you in position like that? Okay. And you can just roll into it instead of being in position where you say, you know what, I want the money, I need the money, but I'm not in position. And that usually is discouraging to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people, they telling me their scenario. They say, all right, I really want to get business funding right now, And then we go over that credit report and it's issues there. And they're like, oh, well, I paid somebody to do this. I didn't get results or all of this. And like, oh, I wish I can do it myself. I'm going to go out and learn. So I'm like, okay, let me just teach people how to do it themselves. And it's not hard at all. I promise you, it's an easy thing. Like you can learn this in maybe 3 days, 4 days. I would say a week's time. I would say you can learn everything basically you need to know. And I got videos, I got the ebook, and I got samples, even the sample letter. And then, sample filled in letter. So basically everything you need to just pull your credit report, look for the errors, create your letter, make sure you send it the right way, and then make sure you're following up the right way with the call. It really is not that hard at all. You're going to dispute once in the mail, once over the phone, if they don't delete everything or fix. We always say that because, it's either or, but we just keeping it per the law, but we really know they ain't fixing stuff. And why we know this is because realize that the credit report, they're supposed to investigate before they even start reporting that stuff. So if you seeing all these blanks and stuff missing on the credit report, do you realize they were already supposed to make sure your credit report didn't look like that? So the fact that your credit report looks like that is the proof that they do not care. They don't want to spend time and effort to keep accurate records. Remember, they don't make $1 from investigating credit reports. They're there to make money. They make their money by companies pulling credit reports on you. That's how they make their money. They don't make money by doing an accurate dispute process. I know it sounds crazy, but this is just the reality. These companies don't really care about you at all, at all. So that's why their credit reports look like this. But now that we know this, now we use it to our advantage. You say, okay, let me get that credit report. And it's like a game. Pull the credit reports and you going through that stuff and you like, dang, it's all these errors. And you telling me this whole time I could have got this account removed or I got this account removed and them pay me to get it removed. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm always just going to come in and keep just harping. I keep seeing all this information out here about credit repair. People talking about they got the sauce, talking about they got hacks and all that stuff. But just ask those people, are there other people in their groups that's still struggling that the sauce isn't working for? That's the question that you're asking for. And then, because that's the real answer. You don't want the smaller majority of people that it work for. You want the larger majority of people that it's not working for, because the success stories may not be your success, but you want a repeatable process. So I tell people, don't go after the hacks, don't go after quick credit repair, and let's see what else. Don't go after the sauce. Real credit repair is spotting inaccuracies or incompletes on your credit report, and the best part about it is 9 times out of 10, they're always there. I haven't looked at a credit report yet where I was like, dang, that whole account is reporting accurately. The errors are there. The only question is, do you know how to spot them, and have you been taught? So that's what I really want to do, is teach you guys real credit repair to where your end result is either getting it deleted or them paying you and getting it deleted. Because that's how credit repair should look. It shouldn't be, oh, I tried this, and this didn't work. What do I do now? That's not credit repair. That's somebody selling you something, and it was that hack, that trick. You don't want a trick. That's not credit repair. You don't want a hack. That's not credit repair. And you don't want quick. Sad to say, that's not credit repair. So if you hear those 3 things, I just want you to run the other way, because they're trying to sell you something. They're not trying to help you. That's it for today. I see y'all soon, and tap in if you want to learn. I got either the mentorship program where you get the building the credit, fixing the credit, business funding, build your own bank through life insurance. You got trust set up, starting your business, how the business needs to look, just everything in the mentorship. But if you just want to learn credit repair, I have that program too. Just come and let me take you down through there and teach you all the ins and outs of how you dissect those credit reports so you can be the man or the woman in this space getting results, or I would say people getting checks. So tap in. I'll see y'all soon.